Michigan women's hockey is live and on the air. Michigan fans, we are live at Yost Ice Arena, where it is Michigan versus Michigan State. The only time this season that these two teams will meet in the regular season. Could absolutely happen in the playoffs, but in the regular season, the only time these two teams will meet because they're in separate pods now. Michigan 3-1 on the season. They lost their first game to Maryville, who's the number one team right now. That was a 4-1 loss. They then beat McKendree 2-1. They beat Grand Valley at Grand Valley in a tight game 2-1. And then the offense broke things open last Sunday with the 6-1 win over Grand Valley. Taking a look at that game, 41 shots on goal for Michigan, 17 for Grand Valley. It was Sasek who started off at 1:15 in the first with the score to put Grand Valley up 1-0. Then Ferris answered back for Michigan at 15:32 in the first. That made it 1-1. Lindahl got her third of the season at the 19:32 mark. That was a shorthanded goal. Katie German and Malashevsky on the assist. And then Garbady got her first goal as a Wolverine. It was shorthanded at 19:45, and Michigan had the 3-1 lead at the end of the third. In the second, Bobby got her first goal as a Wolverine at 11:04 in the second. Then at 11:33, it was Lindahl with her fourth of the season, Black with the assist. And then finally at 15:54 in the second, it was Hansen, her third of the season, Lindahl and Malashevsky on the assists. Bernard took the loss as she played the entire time between the pipes, I believe. Looks like they'll say Benko played a little bit in the second and third. And then Schiff got the win for Michigan. She played all the way. Taking a look at your top scores for Michigan, top 5 scores. Lindahl now has 8 points on 4 goals and 4 assists. Hansen has 6 points on 3 goals and 3 assists. Ferris is checking at number 3 with 4 points on 2 goals and 2 assists. Number 4 is Katie German with 2 assists for 2 points. Then a whole bunch of people tied at the number 1 spot. Probably too many to mention. With 1 point, it's Bobby, Carr, Garbady, Black, Dilla, Flazar, Gargiulo, Gustafson, and Malashevsky, all with 1 point. Taking a look at the goalkeepers. Starting goalkeeper today for Michigan is Poneth. She's played 2 games, 1 win, 1 loss, 2.88 goals against average, and a 9.10 save percentage. And then Schiff has played a single game, got a single win. She has 1 goal against average for a 9.41 save percentage. And Johns has played a single game, 1 goal against there with a 9.52 save percentage. Michigan State started off beating Miami University in overtime at Grogan Ice Arena 4-3. Then they lost the next night to Miami. Miami beat them 2-1 to split that series. They beat Grand Valley at Mundat back on October 6th. That was a 3-2 win. And then they split the series at Lake Superior State. Lake Superior got the first game final in overtime 3-2. And then Michigan State won the second game at the Norris Center 4-2. Taking a look at the Spartans, so they're 3-2, one of those losses being an overtime loss. That win out at Lake State, the Spartans had 21 shots on goal. Lake State had 33. It was Reineck scoring first at 4:03 in the first, Carey with the assist. Then Huber had her first goal in the second, or her 5th goal of the season on the second. That was at 1:47. Princeton with the assist. So it was 2-0 Michigan State. Then Pop put one in for Lake Superior at 5:58, and Tonello scored to tie it up at 2 apiece at 15:32. That all in the second. In the third, it was Huber having her 6th goal of the season unassisted. That was the game-winning goal to put the Spartans up 3-2. Then Nelson had a goal at 9:11 in the third to cap things off 4-2. It was Van Solkema who we're going to see today with the win between the Pipes, and Pasemko, took the loss with Lake Superior. Taking a look at the top point getters, Huber has 7 points on 6 goals and 1 assist. Princeton has 6 points on 3 goals and 3 assists. Lieb has 6 points on 3 goals and 3 assists. Then tied, number of people tied at fourth. Nelson has 3 points on 2 goals and a assist. Carey has 3 points on a goal and 2 assists. Galassini has 3 assists for 3 points. And Mater has 3 assists for 3 points. Van Sokum, who's going to be between the pipes, has played 3 games, but she has 2 wins, no losses, 4 goals against for a 1.71 goals against average, and a 9.53 save percentage. Maddox has played 3 games, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 overtime loss, 264 goals against average and a 9.27 save percentage. And then Gross-Turkey, their other goalie, has played 1 game, 1 win, 3 goals against with a 9.17 goals against average. Let's take a look at the upcoming 5 games out there. As we take a look, it's a big road trip coming up on both ends. As on November 2nd, I got it right, Ned, November 2nd and 3rd.
I was going to ask you if you had time to do that. Good for you, Coach.
Absolutely. So we're down at Miami Saturday, November 2nd. That's going to be a 9:30 p.m. game. Then on Sunday, November 3rd, it will be a 2:20 game, those at Grogan Ice Arena. Then November 8th, 9th, and 10th, we're out on the East Coast. Friday, UMass at 3:50 in the afternoon. Then at November 9th, it is 11:20. That's going to be a.m. And then November 10th, that's 10:30 a.m. So a couple a.m. games there, but a couple big road trips before Michigan comes back this way to the Great Lakes State. And I think we have enough time. Let's pull up the rankings as well. And a little change here. So Maryville, 7-2 on the season. They were 3rd place. Now they're number 1.
And I just want to make a point. Our first 2 games against number 1 and number 2.
Exactly.
Which is why we're number 5. And, that's genius for Tribs to bring him in. And we're going to see him again. Good way to get up there early, play well against 2 of the best teams in the nation.
Absolutely. You want to get that tough competition right out of the way. So, yeah, Maryville number 1. And then McKendree, number 2. They have 9 wins and 2 losses, one of those losses being to Michigan. Adrian pops up now to the number 3rd spot, 6-2-1. They were 7th last week. Midland drops down to number 4. They were number 1 last week. They are 7-1 on the season. Michigan sitting steady at number 5, 3-1. Indiana Tech comes up to number 6. They were number 10 last time. They're 1-2-1 on the season, but tough competition to bring things off. Michigan Dearborn is at number 7. They were number 9 last week. They are 4-3-0. Michigan State comes up to number 8. They were not ranked previously in the top 10. They are now 3-2. They're at number 8. Miami University, who we'll see next game on the road, they're at number 9, 5-1. They were not ranked in the top 10. Then Niagara, 0-5, but they're checking into number 10. That's got to be because they played tough versus some difficult competition. It's also early, so.
That or they have somebody who knows the computer. Because that's I hadn't noticed that. Yeah, that's crazy. Now you don't have all the top teams aren't starting with them anymore either. So Adrian slid up there, but your point last broadcast, still no Liberty. Still no Liberty.
They're getting a late start, so they should be coming up hopefully fairly soon. But it is interesting, 6 CCWHA teams in the top 10.
Yeah.
So that says something about our league and the level of competition we get to face out there.
Absolutely. We're going to see a bit of it more today.
Absolutely. So this is certainly you always hear about it during the football games and all that when Michigan State plays, you could throw out the record. Well, that is absolutely true in hockey as well, where there's been some seasons when they've been doing great and we've nicked them, and there's been some seasons where we're lights out and they come in here and beat us.
Yep, last year they did it.
Absolutely. What does this team have to do to try and get a big win in their only regular season battle with the Spartans?
Well, that's interesting. It's a rivalry game, like you mentioned. So in that room right now, you've got all these young players, especially if they're from out of state, who, I remember when I went to Wisconsin, I didn't know who the rivalry was my first semester. But I learned quickly. Right now, they are learning what it means to play Michigan State. And without Ohio State having a club team that we play against, this is the big rival. And we're only playing them once, and we're at home. So there's a lot of stuff going on there in their minds. They're trying to they're going to be a little more jacked. They know that the competition's going to be a little more jacked. So one of Tribs' mantras is to play the system, play within ourselves, play our game, and stay the course. So we're going to try not to get too high, don't get too low, and just do what got us here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a long game. Ride out the emotions on the ice. Don't get too high or too low either. So I think it'll be fabulous. We're trying to really get a lot of people in here today. I know that we've had Keith Gabe was not able to make it today because of an illness.
Oh, we hope he's doing all right.
I think it was COVID.
He's a fantastic supporter of the team. Great author too.
Great author. He was going to sell books and donate some to us. So we really appreciate that offer, and we're hoping he's feeling better. But we're supposed to have quite a few people here. I know, running around earlier with my pregame prep, there were a lot of people down there. So I know we have a recruit from the Chicago area. Lily and her dad Jim are here. They play for Mission. I think they've got games this weekend, a tournament in Toronto, and so
love them coming down before going out that way. So that's fantastic. Yep. And there's plenty of good seats for you too. So come on down. Yep. It's start off your Michigan State rivalry weekend, and started off at Yost Ice Arena.
How cool is that to have the football teams playing the same weekend?
Absolutely. That's fantastic. You just make a weekend out of it. And I love when the different teams kind of collaborate and you get, the same team coming in to play the football and basketball and hockey, and it's excellent. So
and I got to hand it to Tribs. I've done some scheduling to think and look at the football schedule and look at our schedule and know how late it comes out and how late we are allowed to schedule ice and how late Michigan State schedules ice with their varsity program. To pull something off like this is kudos to her.
Absolutely, and I think this was even originally scheduled for tomorrow, but the men's team ended up shifting things around. They will have, if you're looking for a little Friday night hockey, the USA National Development Team will be in the house to play the Michigan men's team tomorrow. So, but that created a late shift, so we're very grateful for the Spartans to be able to adjust their schedule and come in on a Thursday, and for Yost to accommodate us here.
And speaking of Yost, perfect segue. I think your cameraman should try to get a picture of the big screen above, because that costs us money, and it's on today. Now, it's not going to have scores, unless they're really surprising me.
I don't think anyone's probably. It looks like it's just running a graphic out there, but you got the big block M in the middle and on the sides, and it looks pretty darn nice.
We've had people taking a lot of pictures, even our own players, and we paid to have it on the first year after Rob left here. Blackburn, and it didn't work out. That was my having some fun, but this is the first time I think I've ever seen it on during one of our games, even though it won't be tied into it won't relate to our game.
But it's still nice to have it up there, and it's nice to be able to see it. It brings a little bit more. When you have this huge scoreboard and it's just black, it does have a little bit of
well, the puck underneath.
From
the ice looking up, it looks like just a big puck in the air.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely a cool thing to have, and it just brings a little bit more excitement to building. Again, I think the men's team, I believe, was practicing before we came in, so they probably had it up there for him. And wait, we'll take it. Probably doesn't cost them much to at least have it on, not have it running, but have it on. So.
Yep.
And I think we got, hopefully, our OCR scoreboard piece working here. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Again, I'll switch to the other version, but I like to have the time up there, so that's great. Michigan is going to be in their home whites with the Michigan block lettering on the front, numbers on the front and on the back. White top, maize and blue piping on there, the blue pants, and then the white socks, as well as the fantastic winged helmet across the way at the Michigan bench.
All facing the right direction too, Mark.
Absolutely. Someone absolutely got them all looking snazzy over there. And then Michigan State is going to be in their road greens. They have the green jerseys with the numbers on the back in white and on the sleeves. They have Michigan State in script across the front, green shorts, and I believe green socks with their green helmets. So they are
easy to read.
Yes. Gotta love white numbers on a big contrast between them. So do my best to try and make sure we get everybody the credit they deserve for where they're playing and everything. So Michigan comes out. About 4 minutes and 12 seconds. We'll have the starting lineups coming up shortly. Your starters are for Michigan State. It's going to be Van Sokelma between the pipes and Siciliano on defense, as well as Leonard. At left wing, it is going to be Campbell. At right wing, it's going to be Roleski, Robleski, and then at center, it is going to be Mickelson. For Michigan, the defenders are Izzy German and Katie German. At the wings, it is Lindahl and Hansen. For the center for Michigan, it's Malashevsky, and in goal, it will be Paneth. We'll have those starting lineups coming up momentarily as the public address announcer will hop up here. I'm not sure if that's Leslie Reed down there, student manager, but we'd have a couple folks down at the
I do believe it is. I think it's Danielle Rudd working with her.
Fantastic. So coming out, Robleski comes out. Now Mickelson skates out to the blue line, playing center. Campbell comes out, one of the other wings. Now the defenders, Leonard skating out to the blue line for the Spartans. Siciliano comes out to the blue line, the other defender. And Van Sokelma coming out. Teresa DiMaggio, Giuseppe DeRose, and Tony Siciliano are the coaches for Michigan State.
One of the taller teams we've played against so far.
Skating out. Here comes Hansen to the blue line, playing one of the wings. Malashevsky, playing center, comes out to the blue line. Lindahl comes out, playing right wing. Katie German, one of the blue liners, comes out. Izzy German, playing the other defender, comes out to the blue line. And between the pipes is Paneth. Your coach is head coach Jenna Trebbiano, assistant coaches Joe Upton and Bill Bonser. As we are about to have the national anthem here. Is a little Thursday evening hockey action here at Yost Ice Arena. Wouldn't want to be any other place at this point. And we appreciate that. Senior advisor, Coach Ned Glisson with us as our color commentator. Appreciate you joining us, Ned.
Thank you. Glad to be here. It's always a privilege. Go Blue. This should be a fun one. I'm really looking forward to it. There's been a lot of hype on our team for this game, that's for sure.
Well, we're grateful for everyone showing up to the rink, but we're grateful for you, whoever you're cheering with. Michigan, Michigan State, we're grateful for you watching. Thank you very much wherever you are at for supporting these teams.
I know there was some fun on TikTok going around with some of the shorts about the game, so I got to see some of that, and they were filming some on Wednesday night, last night at practice. So
if you can go check it out, there's one that Katie German sets herself up for a trust fall, and she goes all the way down.
Yeah.
The fact that she just laid down on her back, like flopped on her back hard, I would have broken 3 things. So
we have guys at my age that wear pillows on the back of their head for that. I'll tell you what, that was because Keegan was supposed to catch her, I think. That's why they kept that in there, because everybody was so surprised. Yeah, that was a gutsy play.
Malashevsky versus Mickelson comes back. Lindahl coming down the far boards. Lindahl over center, gains the Spartan zone. Lindahl in the high slot. Lindahl had tipped away, puts it into the near corner where Hansen has it. Back to Lindahl underneath the far circle. Over to Malashevsky. Malashevsky goes back behind the goal to the near side.
Boy, this looks good.
There we go. Front and in, and it's a goal, Michigan.
Like I said,
Scores.
That looks good.
Oh, they were moving it around, and in the first, it's a Michigan goal.
Okay, don't get too happy, guys. That was amazing.
1940, and we'll get the replay here.
Yeah, I'm jumping in on that because that was total control. It's almost a power play.
Over on the near side, putting in, and right in.
0 shots on goal, and it's 1-0, Mark. Wow, that's good. Now just stay the course here.
So was that officially Hansen on that one, I believe, or was it Lindahl?
You know, I couldn't tell because there are 2 people in front there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell the tip. So
right.
One of the 2 of them got that. I believe they were hugging Hansen, so we'll give it to Hansen. But again, we'll have the official score sheet at some point in time. Back behind into the near corner. That grabbed all the way back to Izzy German at the near point. Izzy German, that deflected out Van Solkema with a good save, putting it down the far side. As McLucky firing it into the neutral zone, then put right back in by Ferris, back into the Spartan end. Picked up in the near corner by Galassini. Yeah, that is 9. Galassini that comes back into the near corner, picking it up. Here comes the Spartans. As Lieb has it in the near corner. She rims it all the way around. In along the far boards.
Forecheck's killing them.
McLucky trying to get to it. Michigan holding it in along the far boards. Now that's sent right back behind the goal. Rims all the way outside the near circle. Here comes Lieb with it. Poked back by McGough. Here comes Cummings.
She wants to take that shot.
Cummings tips it back to McGough. McGough firing it in.
There it is.
Comes out to the near side. Good job to clear it back there, as I believe that was Campbell who fired it out from the slot. Here comes Michigan up to 1-0.
Tough change.
Ferris,
she never saw it.
Van Solkema covering it up.
Got tipped a little there.
18-22, and Michigan has the 1-0 lead here. And again, the big thing at that point is if you score early, do not get too happy. Don't. This Spartan team is going to battle you hard. You know it.
And one of our goals has been to start fast. Really been a goal, and we haven't done it really yet this year. And this is a nice start fast.
This is the first time the opposing team has not scored first against Michigan this season. Santi trying to get it out of the zone into the far corner. Hansen over to Lindahl. Lindahl skates in. There's a shot.
What
Good
a move.
save by Van Solkema. Comes all the way out. Intercepted. Gargiulo fires it right back in. Leonard has it in front of her own goal. Sends it down the near side. Huber puts it over on the far boards. Coming up, intercepted by Malashevsky. Malashevsky fires it right back in deep. Leonard goes into the near corner. Chased as that outside and along the near boards. Fired into the neutral zone. Santi tips it back over on the far side. Now Princeton fires it over and along the near boards to Leonard. That fired all the way down the ice, and that is icing.
Good to get in the other end, but it's icing.
17:30 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. A early goal at 20 seconds into the game at 19:40. Garbady, who just had her first goal as a Wolverine in the last game, she's taken the face-off on the other side. I believe that's Santi there, number 16. And it is. That ball all the way back to the blue line. Held in by Katie German. Katie German trying to keep it in. Carey knocks it all the way back to the Michigan blue line.
That's not an all-freshman line this time. We've got Swanson out there with them.
Now that backhanded back deep by Garbady. Comes right back behind the goal. Grabbed over there by Galassini. Galassini trying to come up the far boards. Galassini fires it ahead. That tipped and now go back deep into the Michigan end. Coming back to get it is Reineck. Now Izzy German feeds it down the far boards. Trying to hold it in was Galassini, but that slips right back into the neutral zone. Digging it out right in front of the Michigan bench. That picked up. Galassini tips it back into the Michigan end. Katie German has it in the far corner. She's trying to avoid Reineck as that comes back right through the slot. Coming in. That tip back to the blue line. And boy, it looked like there was going to be an opportunity for Robleski. But puck wouldn't settle down. Comes all the way back in along the end boards in the Michigan zone. Robleski has it in the near corner. Robleski still trying to move outside the near circle. Battle for it back as Lindahl trying to get to it. Now Katie German trying to poke it away. Picked up by Malashevsky underneath the far circle. And here comes Michigan into the neutral zone. Lindahl trying to get through Anderson as that's pinned against the boards right in front of the Spartan bench. Trying to dig in there.
Crowbar.
Yeah, I was about to say, Coach Ned holding up a crowbar up here.
Lucy pulled it pretty close to a crowbar.
That's sent back in. Hansen puts it in along the end boards. Her and Leonard battling there. And now Lindahl into the near corner. Lindahl on the near circle. Backhands it back to Hansen. She has it back behind the goal. Trying to fire it out in front. That tipped back now right in front. Deflected just to McGough's left. So that will skitter all the way back into the Michigan zone. Taken away as here comes the Spartans. They fire it back deep into the far corner. Mickelson goes for a change after dumping it into the near corner. Here comes Michigan racing down the near boards. Pinched against as McGough. Lieb trying to knock it away. Coming in. Here comes Cummings. Cummings top of the far circle with a shot. Van Solkema covers it up as Flazar was right there for the rebound.
We had a situation where they had made a change and we had 5 of our players in our defensive zone and one of theirs. We've been really working on better communication. They need to know that and talk to each other and have a couple people jump on that person.
Cummings taking the face-off versus Nelson in the far face-off circle. Battle for it outside of the far circle. Trying to get it back there. That pulled away by Motter. Motter puts it into the near corner. Now brought ahead by Lieb. Racing with it. That poke back. Nelson had it, but grabbed away by Carr. Carr trying to get it to Cummings.
Great
deflected
back.
Siciliano comes it right back.
Everybody coming back.
Now fired down. Gustafson gets it into the zone. That fired right back into the neutral zone. Here comes Carr. Puck wouldn't settle down. She puts it into the Spartan zone, but Siciliano fires it the other direction. Loose, stolen away into the far corner.
She's got moves.
Trying to fire it out in front. That loose. Good job back over there. As coming ahead the other direction. Here comes the Spartans. Lieb trying to get it into the near corner. And pull back.
David G. Playing D.
Absolutely. Gargiulo trying to knock it out of the zone. Here comes Carr. Carr. That deflects up high. Bobby now picks it up. Bobby coming down the near boards. Bobby ends up down in a pile on the ice.
That could have been a call.
That'll slip all the way back. Van Solkema will cover it up.
I don't know if that far out you can call that a shot on net. I don't know.
Probably not technically, but probably not a bad idea by Van Solkema to just settle things.
No. Good play on her. Good play on her part. Love seeing goalies come out and be a third defenseman. That's great. They got enough confidence. They can move the puck, help things, and settle things down. Take a breath.
As 14:11 left to go here.
Apparently, they're getting to discuss something. Oh, penalty?
It's a penalty.
Okay, that one got by the old coach.
As that's going to be Lieb going into the box as my wife on camera was. My wife on camera had that there. She had that shot right down there. So excellent job by our camera folk. Appreciate that.
And did you get the call?
I did not see the call. So Lieb in the box, Michigan on the power play. First power play of the game. Ferris has it. High slot now over. Carr on the near circle. Carr puts it into the near corner for Malashevsky. All the way across. Loose, and that's sent back into the neutral zone.
You know what? I bet it was that trip that Tribbs thought was going to be called and it was on a delay.
That is absolutely most likely the case. Coming in, here comes Lindahl. Lindahl outside the near circle. Lindahl making a move back behind the goal, coming from the near side to the far side. Lindahl on the far circle. Gets it over to Carr. Carr working the near point. Carr slips it over. Now that put outside the near circle. Malashevsky.
She had him.
Trying to fire it onto the far circle. That tipped away as Huber brings it the other direction. Huber fires it all the way back deep. Stopped by Poneth. Picked up back there by Ferris.
Good job, Sandy.
Coming down the near boards. Ferris fires it. Here comes Hansen. Hansen trying to avoid Reineck. Hansen all the way across to Malashevsky down the near boards. Malashevsky gains the zone. Malashevsky into the near corner. Siciliano marking her. Malashevsky back over to Carr. Carr with a wide angle shot.
There's two
Loose shot in
shots.
front.
There's another.
Knocked away
Yes,
and in.
it's
Michigan
in.
Scores.
Holy
That's
mackerel!
Lindahl.
She did that sliding in.
That is unbelievable because, look,
On her knees.
Van Solkema had that, got a rebound. She saved it twice. And then, boy, Lindahl came in, and there is nothing Van Solkema could do about that.
No, that is a player who is on fire and driven. Just going to the net, even on her knees.
Pops
down.
over to the
there
far
she
side,
is.
grabs it, just sweeps it in, and her momentum
that's like
carries it.
Ovechkin.
Unbelievable. Lindahl continues to just impress.
Light him up.
Oh, she is something
Ovechkin
fantastic.
has a famous one that he scored laying down. She was on her knees, but man, that was nice.
Absolutely. Bobby puts it back deep into the near corner. Siciliano trying to get to a battle.
Power play goal, that's huge.
Absolutely. Michigan up 2-0 here. 12:40 left to go in the first as Campbell fires it back deep into the Michigan net. Gathered up there by Katie German. Katie German coming down the far boards. Katie
Nice.
German trying to feed it ahead.
She could have had that.
Just a little too far. Is out of the reach, and that will be icing and come back the Michigan direction.
I actually thought the state player could have tipped it. That's why I was going to say call off the icing, but
again, they all have a different vantage and view than we do. So
yeah, absolutely.
Schlee in to take the face off for the Spartans. On the other side is
good draw.
Scarbady for Michigan comes right back behind the goal as Schlee had it, now sent ahead, picked up. Here comes Michigan and Swanson trying to move it ahead. That knocked right back to the Michigan blue line. Pulled in by Carey.
Trailers.
Carey comes onto the far circle. She was able to battle two Wolverines to knock that away. Puck into the far corner. Now Katie German has it.
Nice play.
Sends it over to Izzy German in the near corner. Here comes Izzy German. Banks it off the near boards. Bobby fires it across. Picked up. Now fired back deep by Swanson as that'll slip right back behind the goal. Gathered up back there as the puck into the near corner. Leonard trying to feed it ahead. Flazar grabs it. Flazar at the near point. Then slip back out into the neutral zone.
Allie, who played at Michigan State.
Absolutely, yeah. She was at Michigan State for a couple years. Now coming over to Michigan. Flazar gaining the zone. This is her second year with the Wolverines. Flazar outside the far circle. Absolutely. That puck just goes wide. Now picked up by Leonard. Leonard underneath the far circle, moving it ahead. Princeton trying to get it out of the zone and sent right back into the near corner. Carr trying to crash. That picked up. Held in at the near point by Gargiulo. She takes a bump there. Here comes
Cummings.
Cummings with a shot, and that save by Van Solkema.
Got that great shot. That was just right on the MSU script, that one.
Absolutely.
Now, you notice on our breakout, Michigan State is not being aggressive like the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country were on us.
Yes.
Pinching,
yes.
They're letting us walk out, and I can tell you our forwards and our defense are loving that.
Absolutely. Dilla in to take the face off. Nelson on the other side. Back grab. Here comes Lieb. Lieb feeds it down the far boards as McLucky comes in. McLucky, top of the far circle. Ferris knocks that back away. Nelson outside the far circle. But Michigan able to get that puck back into the neutral zone. Siciliano from her own defensive side. Down the near boards down to Lieb. Lieb makes a nifty move to get away from Dillon. Lieb in the slot. That knocked away. Weinman puts it outside the far circle. Back behind, Lieb trying to sneak as that comes into the near corner. She backhands it back to the near point. That slips past Siciliano back into the Spartan zone. Black back there to provide pressure.
Oh, man.
Here comes Dilla near circle. Oh, that went off of Black's skate back off of the far circle. Here comes McLucky ahead. Lieb takes it off of the near boards. Lieb with a shot. Nice save by Ponis.
That's hard. That was her first shot at the 10-18 mark, and wow.
She took it off the blocker, and it dropped right back at her feet. She had to quickly cover that up.
That's never easy when you haven't seen a shot for half a period.
10-18 left to go here. 2-0. Michigan with the lead. The puck back to the near point, slips into the neutral zone. Racing back, Leonard trying to get to it. As that's trying to fire it ahead was Lindahl, now poked right back to the Michigan blue line. In along the near boards. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl sweeps it back. Stopped by Van Solkema right back behind her own goal. Galasini comes outside the near circle. Battle for it back there. trying to dig it out of there. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl over and shot and a goal. Lindahl sets up Katie German for, I believe, Katie German's first goal of the season.
Wow, nice way to sneak in there on the backside. I love those goals on the back door. Wow, that was sweet. Good for them.
That was a really well set up play. As again, skating in, here comes Lindahl, and she sees Katie German. There's nothing.
Nice job.
Nothing Van Solka could do about that one. That was picture-perfect tic-tac-toe there.
Oh, this is starting fast.
Here comes Lindahl into the far corner. 3-0 Michigan with the lead. 9:40 left to go here in the first. As that sent back, Schlee puts it into the near corner. Here comes Siciliano. Loose puck, trying to hold it in. That back into the neutral zone. Tipped ahead.
Way
now
to stay
sent
with
back
it,
deep.
Izzy.
Lindahl fires it back deep. That puck slips right back behind Van Solkema. Grab there as Motter trying to move it from the near side to the far side. Lifted and intercepted by Bobby. Bobby, top of the far circle. That knocked back down. Fired by Gustafson. Picked up by Reineck. Reineck sends it all the way down into the Michigan
Keep talking,
end.
guys.
Here comes Gustafson back behind the goal. 9 minutes left to go here in the first. Bobby trying to make it through traffic. Siciliano knocking that away. Coming back with it. Good pressure back there as that came all the way back. Huber.
Kelsey's due one,
pull
too.
Back. Absolutely. Here comes Huber. Huber, top point getter. She has 6 goals for the Spartans. Over to Princeton, who fires it all the way across the crease. Gathered up down the far boards. Here comes the Wolverines. Right into the neutral zone, picked up by Anderson, who fires it back. Now gained into the neutral zone and fired back deep back there by Gustafson. Quickly ahead, here comes Huber. Drop pass over to Princeton. Princeton on that far circle, firing it out in front, point
wide
blank.
open in front.
And
wow.
Beautiful
Good
job by
Sandy.
Ponnet to save Huber right in the crease, basically. And
Yep.
boy, great job by Ponnet to make that save, because that really probably could have been 3-1 there.
Don't want to give one now. Let's just get through the period.
8:19 left to go here in the first. Michigan up 3-0. Well, you don't want to give these Spartans any life, because you know they'll take it and try and definitely run with it. Coming in, there's McLucky. There's a shot out in front. Another save by Ponnet, and that just goes wide to the far side. Spartans now feeling it a little bit as that puck slips all the way back. Just as I say it into the Spartan zone it goes.
Well, the next goal is pretty huge, because it's like kind of like the dagger if we get it, and kind of like life if they get it. So
Leave into the zone, top of the near circle. That puck knocked right back in along the near boards of the neutral zone.
here we go.
Here comes Carr. Carr gains the zone. Carr, top of the near circle.
She wants
Dropped
that
it
back.
for Flazar, but right there was a Spartan who sent it right back. Gathered up by Ferris on the far side. Over. Now that brought ahead, intercepted, trying to bring it in. Galassini puts it into the near corner. Ferris trying to get there first. Ferris back behind the goal, trying to get away from Galassini. Puck into the far corner. Now Lieb sends it through the slot. Deflected back. Galassini at the near point, skating down into the near circle. Galassini trying to walk her way in. Good job knocking that away by Black. Now banked off of the near boards for Black. Held in at the near point by Schleet. Reineck trying to get it. Schleet has it in the slot. Knocked back. Carr trying to get to it, but it's put right back into the near corner. Sent down the near boards. That's going to go all the way back indeed. And it'll come back into the Michigan zone on an icing. 6:57 left to go.
A little more pressure at the breakout on that. I have to watch the lines. They may not have the depth, because that was hard. We are moving it well D to D, but just a little tough on that right wing.
And Spartans make it difficult to get out of the zone. 6:57 left to go. 3-0 Michigan with the lead here in the first. McGough has it back behind the goal, sends it into the far corner for Carr. Carr trying to avoid Spartan pressure, banks it off the far boards ahead to Cummings, who sends it into the neutral zone, but Leonard puts it right back into the Michigan end. McGough down the near boards, over center. McGough outside the near circle. McGough battling with Santi. That right to Van Solkom, who covers it up.
That was a late shot. He's going to talk to her.
Dilla goes, and she pops up okay, but went sliding into the end boards there. 6:37 left to go here in the first. 3-0 Michigan with the lead. They're going to keep Katie and Izzy German out there, but they'll get a line change for the forwards. As in comes Malashevsky, Lindahl, and Hansen. I'm sure much to the Spartans' dismay. Back behind there, Galassini puts it down the near boards. Campbell trying to get it out of the zone, but held in by Izzy German. There's a deflection as getting in the way was Mickelson. She fires it all the way around the boards. Hansen outside the far circle. Back grabbed as Wroblewski trying to get it out of the zone. Into the far corner. Anderson battling back there, right back behind the goal. Malashevsky trying to get it into the near corner.
She'll
She's trying
find
to fire
somebody.
it back. Now Lindahl puts it right back. That grab by Izzy German at the near point. Fired, deflected that into the near corner. Hansen with it there. 6 minutes left to go. That's deflected and pad save all the way in along the far boards by Van Sokema. Picking it up. Galassini has it. Now backhanded ahead by Mickelson down the near boards, but brought right back into the Spartan zone. Anderson right back behind the goal. Hansen trying to get to it on the far circle. Hansen coming in. Window with a shot and a save by Van Sokema.
Nice glove save.
That was a little flash of leather there.
Yeah, that was a cover of Hockey Weekly, that flash.
Absolutely. 5:38 left to go here in the first 3-0. Michigan with the lead. Well, we'll have to figure out that first goal if it was Hansen or Lindahl because Lindahl has another one, so need to know if you need a hat trick puck if anything happens. And controlled by the Spartans as they try and get it out of the zone. That's held in as Gargiulo fires it loose. Put into the near corner. Backhanded shot back there by Swanson. Now Swanson right out in front, and that got deflected.
Just missed that corner.
Bobby back to at the far point. There's a shot by Gustafson and a glove save by Van Sokema.
She's got a good glove.
She does. Quick hands there. She's been under duress this entire game. And what are the shots? I can't imagine it's
12-3.
Have mercy.
And we're jumping around. All right.
Garbady to take the face-off versus Nelson on that far face-off circle.
Nice play.
Bobby sends it high slot. Now moved over in along the end boards. Picked up by into the far corner by Motter. Motter trying to get it out of there, but pulled by
nice
Swanson.
Play.
Back to Gustafson at the far point, right through the slot. Picked up by Lee. Brought ahead, back to the Michigan blue line. Gustafson trying to fire it over. Swanson sends it down the near boards. Slips right back into the Spartan zone. Picked up by Siciliano there. Siciliano over own blue line, coming down the near boards. That intercepted by Michigan. Cummings trying to get through traffic, but sent deep into the Michigan zone. Gathered up, back behind. As Gargiulo gets it over to Ferris. Ferris down the far boards. Here comes Cummings. Cummings works her way through contact. Cummings
3-on-2
into the Spartan zone. Cummings in the far corner trying to fire it out in front. And with some good defense back there by Schlee. And she was able to keep it from going out front. Now back to the near point. Grab McGough. That deflected back. Leap trying
nice
to get
play
it out.
to get her own block.
Yeah, great job by McGough to hold it in. That one slips back into the neutral zone.
They'll regroup.
McGough at her own blue line.
Or not.
Carey trying to provide pressure now. Cummings down the far board ahead. Carr fires it back deep into the Spartans' end. Siciliano in the near corner. 3:54 left to go in the first. 3-0 Michigan with the lead. Brought in by Reineck. Back into the neutral zone. Siciliano regroups. Fires it over. Gathered up by Galassini. Backhanded down the near boards. Reineck trying to get to it.
Doing a good job of filling the lane. That's why we're picking off all these passes through the neutral zone and stuff.
Princeton trying to move it over that all the way in along the near boards of the Spartan zone. Gathered up there by Galassini on the near circle. Lindahl trying to knock it away. Reineck has it. Reineck off of a Michigan player all the way back to the Michigan blue line right in front of the bench. Grabbed by Katie German as she deflects it off of the near board. Picked up there by Galassini trying to get into the zone. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl moves it over to Hansen. Hansen.
Got an open wing.
Back to Lindahl. Lindahl.
KG
on the near circle. Firing it over to Hansen. Wouldn't settle down.
KG feeling it, sneaking in.
Absolutely. Lindahl back behind the goal. Picked up into the near corner. I believe that's Santi. Fires it ahead. Reineck trying to get it and offsides. Trying to find Princeton.
Good call. Let's see, we have our trainer here today. That's a great thing to see, too.
Absolutely. You love to have a trainer. Hopefully no one gets injured, but you like to have a professional if they do. 2:54 left to go here in the first. 3-0 Michigan with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle, just outside the Michigan zone.
I see Sue McDowell, the founder of the team, is here.
That is fantastic. Love to see her
in the house. Shout out to her.
Always a great time to talk to her. She's heavily involved in the high school women's hockey in the state of Michigan. Back into the far corner. Bobby trying to get to it. Pulled back over. Picked up and fired. Lieb trying to get out of the zone. Katie German trying to fire it back deep. Loose top of the near circle. Into the near corner. That grab by Swanson. Swanson across the crease.
Katie
Loose
lost her
on the
stick.
bar circle. Backhanded by Bobby that just went wide. Bobby fires it right through the edge of the crease, and that comes back to the near point. Ceballos banks it ahead. Now over into the far corner. Bobby with it, trying to get it over to Swanson.
Good job of Kabady to drop back and cover the point for KG.
Absolutely. Lieb at the near point, trying to put it back deep outside the near circle. Here comes Ceballos. Ceballos chips it ahead. Down the near boards is Flazar. Flazar all the way across, stolen away by Reineck. Reineck into the zone and fired, and Hanif knocks it away. Gustafson back behind, fires it over to Carr outside the far circle. Carr slides it over to Cummings, wouldn't settle down on her stick. Siciliano puts it right in front of the Spartan bench.
See that change where we're outnumbered. That's where we got a little happy and a little careless. You can't let that happen when we get down up.
All the way over to Flazar outside the near circle. Flazar trying to move it forward. Intercepted. Brought back in. Huber has it. Huber.
She's got hands.
Again, she has 6 goals on the season. That pulled away. Here comes Cummings down the far board. Carr had it, but that knocked away. Princeton with it underneath the near circle, firing it through the crease. Picked up by Carr outside the far circle. That's going to go all the way down.
It might not make it. Oh, it did.
Oh, almost a shot on goal, but not quite. With 1:02 seconds left to go. 3-0, Michigan with the lead.
Yeah, Sue McDowell is one of the main reasons that I had the opportunity to coach here as long as I did. So wonderful. She's done a lot for women's hockey. She's done a lot for hockey.
Absolutely.
D1 player, played goal.
I'm always lucky when I get a chance to work with her. Coming down Gargiulo, getting it over the blue line. Gargiulo trying to get it to Carr. That knocked away. Princeton right back in.
Last minute here.
Top of the near circle. Trying to get it across. And what a save.
Oh, wow. Sandy.
Oh, Ponith had 2 Spartans in front of her.
Thank your goalie.
Coming in, that in along the far boards is.
Can't let that happen.
Trying to get it is Malashevsky. Now here comes Hansen. Hansen into the far corner before she's pulled off the puck. Mater down the near boards, and that's all the way across. Ricochets off the far boards, and bringing ahead is Huber.
Oh.
Huber, that picked a person's hand on the bench. Couldn't have felt good.
Wow.
22.4 seconds left to go here in the first. 3-0, Michigan with the lead. So this is the start that Coach Triviano was talking about at the coaches show.
Yep, that's for sure. I'll find out who scored that first goal. I'll see if that's Leslie down there.
Back coming down. Siciliano trying to get it out of there. Lead back. Now Siciliano right at her own blue line. Brought ahead as trying to bring it in was McLucky. Now here comes Leib, top of the near circle. Glove save by Ponith with 4.5 seconds left to go. So again, you know these Spartans, doesn't matter what the score is, they're going to continue to battle. They want to come away with a big victory here. They don't want to lose to Michigan. Santi to take the face-off versus Cummings. That puck into the near corner, and that will do it at the end of one. It is Michigan 3 and the Spartans nothing, as it was a goal at 1940 by either Hansen or Lindahl. Couldn't quite tell. They were both right out in front. I couldn't see who tipped it there. Then at 12:59, it was a no-doubter by Lindahl, sliding, taking a couple shot rebound that came off to the far side, sliding in and firing it in. And then Lindahl unselfishly found Katie German slipping in the other side, set her up for a goal at 9:48. So at least 2 points already for Lindahl, if not 3. As what are your thoughts of that first period?
Well, I thought we looked like we got shot out of a cannon. It was great.
Speaking of Sue McDowell, who came up here, we were
guest star,
singing her praises, and she comes
shouting out. Now she's here. I have something for you, Sue. I thought we were shot out of a cannon, which is exactly what we wanted to do.
Absolutely.
And then, at one point where it was almost 12 to no shots, and they ended up getting 6. So whether they wanted to do it or not, I think the Spartans hung in there
Yeah.
and didn't let up, and we may have let up a little bit with 3-0 lead. So, we're going to get back in the room, and they'll get them centered and say, look, it's 0-0. It's a rivalry game.
Yes.
We've gotten 3 goals in a period. We got to win the next one and the next one. We only play them once this year, so.
Absolutely. Well, we'll play a few messages a bit of the Michigan marching band, and we will be back as it's 3-0 at the first intermission. Michigan women's hockey on the air with Arbor Broadcasting. And now it's time for an intermission scoreboard report. Back on Sunday, it was University of Utah beating Arizona 5-3. It was, we know about University of Michigan beating Grand Valley State. It was Colorado beating Denver 2-1. Lake Superior State beat Penn State 4-1. It was University of Jamestown over University of Minnesota 4-2. I don't think there have been any other games since Sunday. One other game happening today, that's Maryville hosting Arizona State. That started at 8:15 Central Time, so that'll be in a couple hours there.
That'll be an interesting game.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Testing.
Yep, you got. Sorry about that. Yeah, 7-1 Maryville versus 2-0 Arizona State. Arizona State was in the top 10 last week, but
head coach for the World University Games.
Absolutely, yep. Head coach and assistant coach happens to be over on the Michigan bench over there. Coach Tripp's going,
and the Niagara coach is the other assistant who is highly ranked 0-5 team.
There you go.
Maybe she's going to coach him up.
Well, it should be a very interesting and a fun time. Hopefully they'll have some broadcasts there that we can all tune into with the World Games there.
Fantastic. I told them if they need an equipment manager, a senior advisor, a color guy, whatever they need, I would love to join that team in Italy. My wife is like, oh, sure, you'd go to Italy for hockey.
Oh, I visited it with the family a few years ago, and it was something special out there. So yeah, I would love to go if they need a play-by-play person. But there's a couple other people. The gentleman I'm blanking on his name. He follows us, so please forgive me. Captain Lou, who does the ACHA Power Play show, he probably has a lot more in on that than I would. So
well, if he gets sick or you decide to go, give me a last-minute call. I'd be glad
absolutely.
I'll pay my way.
Absolutely.
I'll figure out what to do about the wife when I get back. Maybe take her.
There you go. Well, there'll be a couple games while that's happening. There'll be a couple games back here that the team plays that we'll get the chance to broadcast there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't do too big a Mike Tirico impersonation, jet setting across the entire world there. A gentleman who lives in Ann Arbor after marrying an Ann Arbor lady, and he does a heck of a job.
Waiting for the ice to freeze up a bit here, a little wet, which is nice because they used to curfew us and make us play on wet ice, which was no fun. This is getting closer to the bigs every day.
Absolutely is Michigan coaching staff coming out. They're all looking slick in their suits, and I'm feeling a little underdressed up here. Thankfully, I'm in the press box away from the fans, but that's okay.
And I decided that I have this position as an old coach, so I'm going to dress like an old coach. And my wife said, well, what does that mean? When you were coaching, you were always in a tie and a suit or a sports jacket. And I said, well, when I coach on the ice, I'm in warm-ups and things like that.
Yeah,
it's comfortable, so that's how I'm going to be in the booth.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, I'm doing everyone a favor out there. We don't have a camera to turn on us. Ned has a better face for TV than I do, but
I'd say we're both set up for radio. It'd be perfect.
Exactly.
Behind the camera, not in front.
Absolutely, but we'll leave that to the other folk who professionals to swing that around.
I'm also glad to see we have the four referee system tonight again, which is really makes a difference in how well the games are called.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's got to be tough for one person to try and see the ice and be everywhere and have good spots. Here comes the Spartans out.
And we appreciate Danny Cabela, who handles getting them all here for us, because I know sometimes it's, especially with all the tournaments Black Bears running and everything, referees are really in demand, and there's always a shortage, and to get four of them here is a big deal, and I know we appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to love the officials every call they make, but we need to have them for the game. So if you're ever sitting there and think you can do a better job, the MHSAA is desperate for officials. Call them up and hit the ice, because there's been a few games last season that had to get canceled due to a lack of officiating in high school. So it's not a fun time sometimes out there. So we really appreciate the folks who do it. As 20 minutes up on the clock, 3-0 Michigan with the lead here, hitting into the second. As, by the way, that first goal was by Lindahl. So Lindahl, the first 2 goals and an assist on the third goal. So she already has 3 points. Here comes Princeton, who fires it back deep into the Michigan zone, into the far corner. Izzy German has it there, trying to get it away as that's sent back to the far point to Siciliano. She takes a shot, trying to deflect it out front, comes outside the near circle here. Back into the near corner. Izzy German trying to get it out of the zone. Leonard holds it in.
Don't like these shots from the point.
That deflected out, tipped in along the near boards. Here comes Michigan. Hansen fires it ahead to Malashevsky. Malashevsky dumps it deep into the Spartan zone as that'll go into the far corner. Siciliano there, trying to work through traffic. Pulled away down the near boards. Huber has it. Now here comes Princeton. Princeton fires it back deep, right back behind the Michigan goal. Gathered up there by Katie German. She fires it down the far boards. Nice. Nelson trying to get to it. That slips back into the neutral zone. Anderson fires it back deep. Izzy German has it over to Katie German down the near boards. Over her own blue line. Katie German trying to get it over to Malashevsky. Spartan stick in the way. That was Lieb. That'll get sent right back by Galassini. The Spartans have definitely picked it up after the first 3 goals as they they had a lot more ride time after that 10-minute mark there.
Yeah, I'll say. There's
Princeton,
a shot right there.
Right out in front. Poneth with an excellent save comes outside the near circle.
So they have the first shot of the period.
Held in by Anderson. That rimmed all the way into the far corner. McLucky trying to get to it. Pulled back by Lee back to the far point. Galassini there. Galassini trying to move it through. Good job by Izzy German to intercept it and fire it all the way down the ice. That'll be a shot on goal as Van Sokoma will cover it up there.
Smart play to get a change, put it on net, get a face off. Good job, Izzy.
18:21 left to go here in the second. Cummings to take the face-off on the far face-off circle. That to Van Sokoma's left. Schlee on the other side.
Nice draw.
Back to the far point. McGough with a shot that got deflected by Schlee. Back down the far boards. Gathered up by Ferris. Ferris has it on her own defensive zone. Banks it off the near board. Picked up there by Motter. Motter moves it ahead. Loose is Reineck trying to bring it into the Michigan zone. Picked up by McGough. Right back behind Poneth. In along the far boards. Flizar moves it over to Cummings. Cummings moves it right to center. Princeton trying to knock it away, or Motter trying to knock it away. Flizar back in along the near boards. That brought ahead. Flizar gains his own. Flizar outside the near circle trying to skate in. That went right off of his skate into the near corner. Gathered up there by Motter. Motter back. Ferris from the near point. That goes wide.
Nice shot. Little wide.
Indeed. Flizar at the far point fires it right back behind the goal.
Sam.
Pull it away. Motter battling with Carr into the far corner. Garbady sends it right back to McGough. McGough. That one blocked again. Spartans are getting a lot of blocked shots as that fired off of the far boards and back into the Michigan zone.
We work on that a lot, and sometimes you just can't seem to get around it.
Here comes Swanson as that all the way back in along the end boards. Bobby tips it back. In along the near boards it goes. Now Garbady trying to get it back. Gustafson fires it on net. And a glove save by Van Sokoma.
Swanson had a nice chance at a tip there. She just missed it.
Face-off in the near face-off circle. Garbady to take the face-off with 16:56 left to go here in the second. 3-0 Michigan with the lead.
Still a big goal.
Absolutely. Santi on the other side. 3-1 is a hugely different game than 4-0.
Yes.
Into the near corner, trying to work her way through his Galassini.
Here we go.
Out,
ends
and
up
that
being a shot.
Tipped back as the puck get along the far boards. Huber with it. Huber.
In a rivalry game, I doubt anybody's quitting either.
Yeah, you would not imagine. Huber ricochets it off the near board, now sent right back in by Gustafson as Michigan touches up. Coming down the far board, Siciliano gets it into Michigan zone. Gustafson picks it up right in front of her own goal. Down the near boards. That lifted, tipped. Now right at the near point, held in by Santi. Santi trying to move it back to Huber. Loose coming in, Galassini with it. Galassini trying to walk in with it. Goes right back behind the goal. Now top of the far circle, over to Huber. Huber shot.
What a
that
save
by Conniff as she was sliding to her right and was able to barely get that left toe out to block that.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's Sandy in a nutshell right there, saving us on that shot with that trailing leg.
Moving over, Santi picks it up, coming down the near board. Santi back. There's Princeton with a shot, and that one fired all the way around. Picked up as Robleski had it. Now that back into the neutral zone. Anderson trying to send it right back into the Michigan end. Here comes Gustafson over old blue line. Gustafson feeds it to Malashevsky. Tipped into the near corner by Lindahl. Here comes Malashevsky back behind the goal. Galasini trying to pull it away. Malashevsky backhanded, trying to get it to Hansen. Wouldn't settle down. Lieb fires it all the way down the ice. And that she'll be icing. I think she saw one of the Spartan players changing and thought they were down there, but they'll bring it back into the Spartan end with 15-19 left to go here in the second.
I didn't hear a whistle. Did you hear a whistle?
I thought I heard one once it crossed the line. I thought I heard
They're doing it at center ice.
Okay.
That was weird.
Malashevsky brings it back. Katie German coming down the near boards. Katie German trying to get it ahead to Hansen. That tipped back by McLucky. Now sent deep into the Spartan zone. Leonard has it in the far corner, bringing it ahead. Leonard now on the far circle. Hansen trying to tip it back. That loose into the neutral zone. Katie German sweeps it back to reset. Down the near boards. Izzy German trying to get it out of the zone. Brought right back in by Nelson. Again, for a team that's down 3-0, this Spartan team is buzzing down the ice. Coming in, here comes Michigan. Lindahl outside the far circle. Lindahl into the far corner with it.
Point.
Lindahl on the far circle as she fires it back into the far corner. Hansen takes it there. Slot shot, Lindahl, as that comes all the way back outside the near circle.
That wasn't on net, was it? Did I notice?
That was a blast as Katie German had it. I think it might have been just a little off net as Hansen spinning with the top of the near circle. Hansen trying to split a pair of defenders. She ends up going down to the ice. Loose in the slot. That puck can't feel good as it was underneath her. Into the far corner. Now that lifted by Robleski all the way back into the Michigan zone. Katie German has it there with 14 minutes left to go here in the second.
Give Lucy space.
3-0 Michigan with the lead. Hansen puts it in along the end boards. Flazar tracks back to get it. Flazar into the far corner. Flazar works her way around. Ferris, top of the near circle. Puts it right back. Flazar chasing it. That goes all the way to Carr outside the far circle. Carr over high slot for Ferris. Ferris trying to avoid pressure.
Just put it in the corner. They're not covering the high circle on the face-off. So
now get tipped all the way back. McGough has it at her own blue line. McGough ahead to Carr. Carr
here we go.
Gains his own. Carr high slot shot. Ooh,
back door
wide to the far side. That comes all the way in along the near boards.
That should be icing.
That'll send all the way down. That'll be icing, and you are indeed correct. It'll head back the other way with 13-18 left to go here in the second. 3-0 Wolverines over the Spartans.
Yeah, Lindahl's feeling it, man. She fired that one. I just couldn't tell from the angle if it hit a blocker up high or a butt end of the
It was
stick.
hard to see. It might have tipped off that back end of the stick, but that thing had a lot of pepper on it as well, I'll say. Schlee and Garbady taking the face off. Swanson trying to get to it back. Now grab Bobby into the near corner. Bobby battling back there with Galasini. Schlee.
She's full of energy. That's great.
And moved over. Anderson trying to get it over to Reineck. Sent right back as Bobby chases it into the far corner. Sent right back by Anderson and along the near boards. Carey puts it back in along the end boards. Right out in front, trying to get it to Swanson.
Oh,
now
nice save.
Great job to hold it in.
Another block.
Battling back there with Reineck. Reineck and Swanson outside the far circle. They get tangled up. It's a quartet of players trying to dig it out of that far board.
There you go.
Back to McGough. McGough fires it. That's a glove save by Van Solkema.
Not many shots this period. They're pretty even. We got 4 for Michigan, 3 for Michigan State. Settled into a routine now. We just need to hold the fort and get our chances and make the most of them. Make sure we don't get anybody behind us.
12:34 left to go here in the second. 3-0 Michigan with the lead. That puck back to the blue line. Held in there by Gargiulo. Malashevsky outside the far circle. Back to Hansen. Hansen directly behind the goal. Hansen trying to get away from Anderson into the near corner. Back to Gustafson at the near point. That deflected and blocked. Pulled in along the near boards by Princeton. Princeton lifts it all the way down. That tipped back. Gustafson puts it down the near boards, but Princeton has it right at center ice. Princeton into the far circle, now back behind the Michigan goal. Backhanding it right in front. That tipped away. Excellent job by Lindahl to knock it away as Siciliano takes it and puts it into the far corner. Trying to grab that back. Gustafson trying to get it away from Santi and Huber. Here comes Lindahl down the far boards. Lindahl pinned against the boards, held in at the far point. As that was Siciliano again, keeping it in, backhanded out in front. Santi trying to get to it.
Nice job, Ava G. Little D, stick on puck.
Absolutely. She's really adjusted well to the defensive side.
Smart player.
Gargiulo outside the far circle.
Nice breakout pass right there, too.
Moved ahead.
2-on-1.
Bringing it. Gaining the zone. Lindahl, far circle shot. Oh, what a stick save there by Van Solkema.
Picking that far corner.
Coming ahead. Here comes Robleski.
This could be a penalty shot.
It could be.
He's not signaling it.
There was definitely contact. It wasn't like getting a stick on the skates there, but there was contact from behind. That would be a judgment call.
I think they're talking about it.
That's a judgment call by the officials, but they're calling it to be on either of the circles there. So that's going to be.
I think it's a body contact.
Yeah, power play there. Hooking the call.
As a great penalty.
As you come down and you can see, they just get tangled up there. So Katie German goes into the box on was probably what you would call a good penalty.
Absolutely. Yep. Otherwise, it was a breakaway.
Absolutely. Back into the far corner now. Robleski trying to get it out in front. That puck all the way back to the near point. Leonard with it there. Leonard over to Siciliano, top of the far circle. That out is, that came to an open far side of the goal and able to sweep it away. Good defense to clear it out of the crease and back. Leonard has it. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the power play. 10:46 left to go here in the second. Bringing it, here comes Carey. Carey gains the zone outside the near circle. Drop pass over is Robleski trying to fire it out in front. That poked, and boy, right there was Lieb who had a point-blank backhanded shot. Good save by Poneth. There's a shot in the slot, backhand. That got cleared away. Gustafson got her skates in the way of that one, and that comes all the way back to Leonard at the near point. Ooh, down goes Garbady. She pops up okay, but Leonard trying to get it over onto the far circle. Great job by Swanson to tip that back into the neutral zone.
Good length.
Leonard all the way across. That tipped back, grabbed and coming in Nelson. Nelson moves it in along the end boards. Gustafson picks it up back behind. 45 seconds left to go in the power play. 9:57 left to go here in the second. Michigan trying to make it difficult on the Spartans power play. Here comes Princeton. Princeton has speed. Princeton gains his own offside, negates that speed. As that was brutal because she had some moves there.
She was not happy.
9:47 left to go here in the second. 32 seconds left to go here.
She's a smart
in the power play.
Man. She's all over.
Oh, absolutely. Nelson versus Malashevsky. Puck back to center ice. Trying to pull it away back there as here comes Nelson. Nelson gains the zone. Drop pass. Back to Princeton. Princeton at the near point. Gets it over top of the far circle for Galassini. Knocked away by Ferris. She banks it back into the neutral zone. And the Spartans will have to reset with 12 seconds left to go on the power play. Galassini back behind the goal. That's sent ahead to Princeton down the near boards. 19 left to go.
That should do it.
Here in the second. And Wolverines back to full strength as Katie German comes out of the box. Here comes Galassini as she'll pull it down her own blue line over center, down the far boards. Galassini has that tipped right back. Loose top of the far circle. Malashevsky trying to get it out, but that deflects deeper into the Michigan zone. Moved in along the near boards. Here comes Hansen. Hansen over the blue line. Hansen over center. Hansen gains the zone, top of the near circle. Hansen trying to make a move as she tried to move from her forehand through her feet, and that just got tipped away. Malashevsky out in front. That deflects into the near corner. Back to Ferris at the near point. Ferris, that knuckleballed all the way around.
She does have a nice shot from the point.
Absolutely. Into the far corner. McGough trying to hold it in.
Good job. McGough blocked that.
And fired by McGough. It deflects off the dasher off the back of the goal.
Aggressive at the points. That's good.
Siciliano trying to send it back. Hold in. Coming in. There's a shot that just went wide. Cummings chasing it and diving and covering it up was Van Solkema. Otherwise, Slazar was looking to get a goal against her old team. I do not recall if Slazar got a goal against the Spartans last season or not.
I don't remember either. She probably has assists because, man, she sets people up.
She does indeed. Cummings in to take the face-off on the near face-off circle versus Schley. Lazar firing it over to Carr, and that save by Van Solkema.
Great save. Knocked her right over after the recoil.
And she was sliding back and managed to keep her pads on the ice, as that was impressive right there. And yeah, 8:11 left to go here in the second. Back to Katie German. Katie German, high slot. Now comes over, backhands it back deep, back behind the goal.
Smart play.
Gathered up there by Leonard. Down the near boards. Katie German trying to hold it in again, but here comes Schley. Schley over the blue line.
Get back. That's great.
Over center ice. Carr back there trying to tip it away. Carr moves it down the near boards. Trying to fire it back deep there was Reineck. That comes all the way over to the center ice and fired into the Michigan net. Katie German down the near boards with 7:39 left to go here in the second. Here comes Carr. Carr trying to get it past into the near corner. Carr trying to pull that away from Motter. Carr pinned into the near corner. Santi trying to pull that back, and here comes the Spartans. Wow. Reineck had it. Now Garbady trying to pull it back, but Robleski
way to sneak over
gets it all the way into the Michigan zone. Robleski, there's a shot that goes high, rims all the way around to the far point.
Field goal.
Indeed, trying to hold that in. Campbell now still deflecting back out there. Izzy German rims it all the way around the boards.
Knowing her sister's there, that's good.
Tipped back. Katie German trying to get it out of the zone. Galassini trying to hold it in, but that will come back in front of the scorer's bench. Siciliano there over the block M, puts it down the far boards, tipped back by Campbell, into the far corner. Katie German back behind Potniff underneath the near circle with 6:44 left to go. Here comes Galassini underneath the far circle. Katie German driving her wide and now pins her against the M board. Katie German rims it around the far boards, picked up there, trying to move it over to Swanson, just couldn't get back to it. Moved ahead as 6:28 left to go here in the second. Battle in the neutral zone, grabbed up. Lieb fires it back deep into the Michigan end. Potniff stops it right back behind the goal and grabbed by Katie German. Trying to avoid pressure by Lieb, now coming down the far boards.
Here we go.
Bob Eve moves it ahead. Here comes Swanson. Swanson gains the zone. Swanson underneath the far circle, trying to come across. And boy, that looked like Lindahl's move there. And Swanson, excellent work. But here comes Nelson the other direction over center ice. Nelson feeds Lieb, trying to get it back to Nelson. And great job to knock that away back over there by Gargiulo, covered up by Potniff. Without Gargiulo getting her stick in the way, that would have been a dicey play at best for Michigan. 5:52 left to go here in the second. 3-0 Michigan with the lead. Well, you knew these Spartans, no matter what the first bit of the game was going to be, they were going to come back with a vengeance, and they sure have.
Yeah, shots are much closer, and
there's held in by Anderson. Loose. Hansen has it in along the near boards. Hansen trying to get it ahead. Beautiful pass ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl swept off the puck. Gathered up by Anderson down the far boards. Hansen trying to pull that away back into the far corner. Picked up by Princeton, who backhands it ahead. Grabbed by Huber. Now Lindahl back to the far point. Gargiulo gets it right in along the M board. Santi with it. Santi over to Leonard. Now Princeton outside the near circle. She fires it right into the neutral zone. Gustafson grabs that pass from Gargiulo and fires it back deep.
Keep it in their end.
Lindahl chasing it, moved underneath the near circle. Leonard back over along the far boards. Here comes Anderson. Anderson moves it over. Huber had it, and that's going to come all the way back. Stopped by Potniff. Covers it up with 5:53 left to go here in the second. 3-0 Michigan with the lead. Face off on the Michigan side. Over on the far face-off circle to Poneth's right. Schlee in to take the face-off.
Well,
Cummings out the other side.
Michigan's weathering the storm, but we want to make it a little rockier on State.
McGough back, tipped away from Galassini, back into center ice. Motter sends it right back deep. McGough picks it up. McGough back behind the goal, rims it around outside the near circle. Trying to pull it away. McGough into the near corner. There's a shot by Reineck. Tipped away into the neutral zone. Here comes Michigan moving it over, trying to get to Carr as Flazar trying to set that up, and she just couldn't get everything on it. Back, Reineck has it, top of the near circle, tipped away by Carr, but gathered up. Galassini puts it back to the far point, but nobody home. Gathered in, sent down the near boards by Schlee, now coming in. Knocked right at the near point. Reineck resets. Reineck sends it down the far boards. Katie German keeps it out of the Michigan zone, but that deflected right back. McGough with it on the far circle. 4 minutes left to go here in the second.
Easy pass. Good job.
There's Carr down the near board. She'll dump it deep into the far corner as Michigan goes for a line change. Coming down the near boards. That fed ahead back over there by Galassini. Dumped deep, racing back to get it. There's Robleski going to pull that away. Puck outside the near circle. Now sent into the neutral zone. Bobby trying to get it, but that slipped right through the skates. Picked back up. Bobby now has it. Bobby. Oh, tipped right off of Swanson. Skates back. Izzy German will retreat to her own zone and set things up there. Izzy German down the near boards to Swanson. Swanson trying to get past traffic, trying to get past Motter into the near corner.
Got her in front. Oh,
Swanson right out in front. That deflected off of the goal. There's a shot by Katie German, but Mickelson knocks it away, and that comes all the way back to the blue line for Michigan. Izzy German there trying to avoid Mickelson's pressure. That went right over, and Siciliano trying to move it ahead. Back into the Michigan end.
I think Michigan's pretty happy with them just dumping it all game. We're not having too much trouble clearing the zone.
2:55 left to go. Here is that banked off the far boards. That is going to be icing. No? All righty then. We'll take that as the puck outside the near circle.
Merry Christmas.
Would not have made that bet. There's a shot by Gustafson and a save.
Oh, that took a weird bounce.
And luckily, I think it hit the left pad there as the puck into the far corner. Brought back, trying to pull it away. Lindahl into the near corner, trying to get away from Anderson as that bounces to the near point. There's Gustafson with a shot. That sticked away back there. Picked up into the far corner by Siciliano. Lindahl trying to dig it out of the far corner as she's coming back away with it. The puck into the near corner. Grabbed over there as Anderson fires it. Held in by Gustafson at the near point. 2:07 left to go. Hansen trying to pull it away. That back into the neutral zone. Gargiulo resets. Two Spartans back behind her, providing heavy pressure. As McLucky fires it back into the neutral zone. Coming down, here comes Nelson.
Not careful.
Stopped, covered up by Poneth with 1 minute 50 seconds left to go here in the second. Michigan 3, Spartans nothing. Shots on goal a lot more close in this second period.
10 Michigan, 8 Sparty.
Face off in the near face off circle. Santi in taking the face off versus Cummings. Outside the near circle, Princeton chases it into the near corner. Back behind the Michigan goal. Trying to fire it out in front, and boy, Huber was right on the doorstep on the near side. Luckily, that puck didn't connect. Still trying to get it out. Cummings battling at the near point. Spartans able to continue to hold it in. Now they get it out of the zone as Motter has to reset. Puck all the way back into the near corner. McGough with it there. McGough underneath the far circle, moving it ahead to Flazar. Flazar backhands it. That tipped, but held in at the far point by Princeton. Now it is out of the zone. Princeton brings it right back in as Cummings trying to chase. There's a shot and a glove save by Poneth. 1:12 left to go here in the second. All the scoring in the first. As a matter of fact, in the first 10 minutes and 12 seconds of the game has been all the scoring. Things have kind of settled down since then.
Number 21, Princeton. Stick handles more in a 10-foot space skating forward than I do in a whole game. She's got some hands.
Absolutely, and some wheels, too, as that comes back to the near point.
There we go.
Knocked away. Here comes Hansen. Hansen into the zone. Hansen, top of the near circle. Hansen with a shot Lindahl looking for the deflection and the rebound, but that's covered up by Van Solkema. 59.9 seconds left to go here in the second. Malashevsky in to take the face-off on the near face-off circle. Schlee on the other side. Pulled back as Galassini underneath the near circle. Galassini into the near corner. 52 seconds left to go. Trying to bring it out in front is Malashevsky. Schlee coming down the far boards now. Schlee back to Izzy German at the far point. Izzy German with a shot. That got all the way back into the far corner. That comes outside the near circle. Trying to dig it out there. Held in by Katie German. Katie German that slips away and along the far board. Schlee with it. Schlee backhands it back into the neutral zone. Katie German. Over, now coming in. Trying to get it in was Lindahl. That pulled back. 20 seconds left to go as Izzy German back at her own blue line. Sends it down the near boards. Katie German trying to lift ahead over to Hansen, but pulled by Siciliano over to Schlee down the far boards. 8 seconds left to go in the second. Siciliano trying to move it ahead. 4 seconds left to go. 3, 2, 1. And that is the end of the second. 3-0. Michigan takes the lead into the second as
shots are 11-9.
So a lot closer in this period than they were 12-6 in the first period. Total shots on goal for Michigan 23 and for the Spartans 15. But that was a lot more back and forth period as the Spartans seemed to, like I said, about halfway through that first period, they seemed to kind of find their footing, and it's been a lot more back and forth game since then. Michigan has had their opportunities, but the Spartans have had a couple big opportunities as well. What are your thoughts on that second period?
Well, I'm not saying we really let them back in it because we didn't. The score didn't change.
Yeah,
but they have hope now.
Yes,
we didn't put the dagger in. We didn't do anything to put them away. I mean, we weathered the storm and we played our game. I don't think we played with a lot of emotion. I think we played like we were up 3-0 and we didn't have anything to worry about. And I think we need to be a little more worried in the third period.
A little hungrier in that third period, trying to put the game out of reach.
Yeah, one or two more with a little a little more energy, a little more urgency would certainly help.
Well, because again, that's this next goal, as you said. I mean, it didn't
Huge.
happen in the second, but the Spartans come out early in the third and score, and that complexion is a completely different game.
Yep.
And so they're going to talk things over in the locker room. And
I would kid them right now that a 3-goal lead is the hardest goal lead to maintain, just because I change it for whatever we've got to maintain. but right now in the locker room, it's 0-0.
Yes, absolutely.
We got to be strong. The third period is a period that is part of our mantra, to our mission statement, to win every game.
Well, again, big difference from the last 4 games is Michigan scored first, and they didn't just score first; they scored 3 times.
Yes.
Before the opponent has yet to get a goal. We'll see what happens.
See, the problem is you can't say, okay, we want you to start fast, finish slow. We want to start fast, finish strong.
Yes.
So we can't do one or the other. A complete good team does them both. So.
Definitely. Well, we'll take a little break here, let you listen to a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band. I'll come back with a Michigan scoreboard report as at the second intermission. It is Michigan 3, Michigan State nothing, and it is the second intermission. So you know what time it is. It's time for I Can't Turn You Loose.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his Blues Band.
As we are live here at Yost Ice Arena, both teams coming out here with about 2 minutes 55 seconds on the clock. Just a few Michigan scores reported. Back on the 20th, rowing faced off against Head of Charles. They were 15th. Maryland field hockey played number 8 Maryland. That was a 2-0 loss. Women's soccer beat Purdue 2-0. It was men's basketball versus Oakland. That was a 92-48 win. Women's basketball, Coach Ned's Wisconsin team, number 9, beat Michigan 1-3. Over on Tuesday, the 22nd, in men's soccer, it was a scoreless draw between Michigan and Michigan State. Today, it was in tennis. The women's MSU Invite and field hockey played Northwestern, and a few more items happening. But we're back to gameplay here. We want to thank everyone who chipped in during the Giving, I believe, what was that called? Giving Blue there.
It's Club Sports Kickoff.
Club Sports Kickoff.
I don't know if my mic's, is my mic
Yep,
on?
you're
Yeah?
up. You're
Okay.
going, yep. Yeah.
Starters are starting. Club Sports Kickoff looks like we got 49% of our hoped for 5,000.
So good chunk there. Thank you to everybody who donated. We are very grateful.
Yeah, and I apologize for not announcing it, but it was over before game time.
Yeah, it was over at 6. So Malshevsky wins it back. Izzy German down the near boards, picked up by Lindahl, who sweeps it back deep into the Spartan zone.
Critical period here, folks.
Absolutely, into the far corner. We said it before in the second, but it comes even greater now in the third. Whoever scores next really has the momentum outside the near circle. Lindahl trying to get it over. That tipped away, but held in. Excellent job to hold it in by Katie German, but that back into the neutral zone. Katie German trying to pull it away. Nelson has it now, grabbed by Hansen at her own blue line. Hansen over center. Hansen weaves her way through traffic
offsides.
into the zone, but offsides.
Smart play by the Spartan defense or forward. They pushed the Michigan player offsides, which caused the offsides.
19:20 left to go here in the third, 3-0. Appreciate you starting off your sports weekend and evening early with us here on a Thursday night. We got a couple of Thursday night games coming throughout the season. I know one of the last games versus Penn State will be a Thursday night here at Yost Ice Arena. Good job by Huber to try and win it into the corner. Fires it all the way across and grabbed by Carr in the far corner. Carr feeding it ahead and out into the neutral zone. Anderson trying to fire it right back in. Picked up back on the far boards. Ferris
nice
trying to
touch
move
pass.
it ahead. Here comes Cummings. Cummings gains the
Rip
zone.
it.
Cummings on the near circle. Cummings coming in.
Yes!
Backhanded shot and a score.
Good for her.
Oh, 5-hole backhanded as she faked it to the near post and then swept over backhanded through the 5-hole. Huge goal to make it 4-0.
That's what they needed, a quick start to this period. That is as close to a dagger as you can get. A 4-goal lead is pretty steep. That was a great shot from her. She has a great quick snapper, but that time she carried it in. Although they don't scout us, she likes to take that snapper, but that was a nice 5-hole there for her.
Good job by Cummings as she's played tough. And didn't always get the goals she might have deserved last season. Good to see her. I believe this is her first of the season. As
far as I recall, yes.
Carey brings it in, top of the near circle. Carey with a shot blocker save into the near corner by Poneth. Picked up into the far corner by Carey. Loses it there. Ferris trying to bank it ahead to Carr. Carr down the far boards trying to avoid Schlee. Pulled away. There's a shot by Carey that just missed the far post. Not by much. Trying to hold it in at the far point. Motter.
Three times.
Doing a good job at that point. Picked back up in the far corner. Carey
Got a
with
challenge. Got a
out
challenge.
in front.
Oof.
Good job by McGough to try and knock that away as Reineck with an opportunity. Here comes Flazar. Flazar puts it back deep as they'll slip into the far corner. In grabbing it, Flazar pinned against the boards, back to the far point. Held in there and fired back by Gustafson. Picked up by Schlee. She'll lift it down and that'll bank
Careful.
right in front of the Michigan bench. Gargiulo has it. Right in front of her own goal. Gargiulo comes to the near side. Gargiulo over the blue line. Trying to fire it. That tip by Lindahl. Go back into the far corner. Galassini loses an edge. That didn't look like fun. She's still down into the near corner it goes. Picked up as she's slow to get up. Hopefully she didn't lose an issue with the skate. Oh, she's having issues. Galassini really having problems putting pressure on that right leg. We hope she's all right as Schlee comes out in front. Lindahl trying to get the hat trick. back.
She was actually skating like I was afraid she lost a blade. But
It's what it
wasn't the
almost
case.
looked like.
Yeah.
It might have been a blade too, but she went hard into the boards, and we hope she'll be all right. High slot now. Gustafson with the shot. Saved by Van Solkema. Back behind. Lindahl trying to fire it out. That picked up. Gargiulo with it. Gargiulo, that got blocked by Lieb all the way to Gustafson at the far point.
Nice.
Outside the far circle. Trying to bring it in. Fired back deep over by Lindahl into the near corner. That slips out. All the way back. Gustafson racing back as it rolls on edge. All the way around the far boards, gathered up there. Here comes Michigan. Intercepted right at center ice. Now grabbed by Hansen. Hansen trying to split a pair of defenders. Puts it into the far corner. Garbetti back to try and get to it. Picked up as
her eyes got big,
had it.
Back through there.
Absolutely. Bobby trying to poke it. That back over to Garbetti, but grabbed. Now Motter firing it all the way around. Stopped at the near point. Grabbing it as Bobby puts it into the slot. Picked up. Here comes Garbetti with a shot and a save by Van Solkema.
We're doing a pretty good job, or she's doing a pretty good job of getting those scripted fonts right on our shots. Need a little more traffic.
What is that? One of the things you put a big target somewhere
all
in the middle.
All my Zell jerseys, all my last Zell jerseys, and Gadaiko's jerseys, and my old Puckers jerseys. Goalies all have a big target.
Just to bring the eye there and make you fire at it whether you like it or not.
That's right, just to take it away.
Out in front, that puck all the way. Izzy German keeps it in the blue line. Fires it and that in. I believe Garbetti deflected it.
Garbetti deflected it. That was Izzy's shot. Wow, that was good for Garbetti.
So Garbetti in and deflects it right in. She'll have the goal at
she just
15.
Killed Izzy in the celly.
Oh, well, Izzy German will get a much
deserved
assist.
Nice
That's
play.
the words I was looking for. Thank you.
Yep, and Katie's very happy for it, too.
Absolutely.
Okay, now they're not going to quit, but that's what we needed in the second period to just get some people some ice time that maybe they don't get. And
2 goals in the opening 5 minutes of the third at 15:30. Cummings back behind. That loose tipped in along the far boards. Michigan 5, Spartans nothing, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop working hard as Huber
got an open person
on
in
the far. Huber trying to get to it, pulled in along the near boards. Izzy German has it poked away, but she gets it back. Izzy German into the near corner, trying to get it away from Huber.
Got to be careful here.
Oh, that loose back behind the goal, trying to fire it out in front. Loose. Number of hands as that goes into the far corner. Ooh, that was a blast by Princeton that went right off of Katie German's leg.
But she's feisty too. She had put a lot of stick on Izzy in the corner.
That is a heck of a glove save there. Is a quick flash of leather for Poneth. And we'll have a face-off in the Michigan zone with 14:53 left to go here in the third. 5-0, Michigan with the lead over Michigan State.
Pinzer can fire the puck.
Yes, she can. Princeton is, she has speed, power, good hands. She's going to be a problem for Michigan, as I believe last year was her first year. I didn't put the out in front, loose in the slot, trying to pull that away. Still loose, as that was underneath one of the Spartan players.
We have to be careful not to take a penalty up 5-0. We don't get any breaks.
As that was Reineck who had it right underneath her. Now Ferris back in along the end boards. Picked up. Here comes Dilla. Dilla ricochets it off the far board.
Nice, smart play from a freshman.
Siciliano goes back to get it in the far corner. Wyman trailing, trying to make it difficult on her. Black chasing as well. Gathered up by Carey. Now Carey drops it back over. Coming in Schlee. Schlee shot from the slot. Sticked into the near corner by Poneth. Outside the near circle. As Rybeck puts it back behind the goal. Now lifted out. Tipped by Leonard, but that'll go all the way back into the Spartan net. Picked up by Motter. Motter moves it. That moved in along the near boards as Carey dumps it deep into the Michigan zone as the Spartans go for a line change. Huber in the far corner. Trying to get it out of there.
Coming late.
Gustafson trying to pick it in along the end boards into the near corner. As Princeton racing back to get it. Black trying to knock it down. Princeton puts it out in front. Now still trying to cover it up, and Poneth able to cover it up there.
More Princeton.
13:35 left to go here in the third. 5-0 Michigan with the lead. If anything, it's fired these Spartans up even more.
Yeah.
Lead puts it in along the far boards. That comes right back behind the Michigan goal. Swept along by Ceballos outside the near circle. Now back behind. Galasini has it. Galasini. I believe that was, wasn't that the person who went down? So I believe that was, and I'm glad to see she's okay. Maybe it was a blade. That brought ahead. Here comes Hansen. Hansen in the slot. Hansen makes a nifty move and puts it in. Oh, forehand, backhand, forehand in.
More moves than I have in another
Wow.
in a game. Wow.
Unbelievable.
And that was in a phone booth. Oh, my goodness.
That was a heck of a play by Hansen.
That's where I'm wrong when I say you can't walk everybody with no space, because she just walked everybody with no space.
Comes in and just, forehand, backhand, and just slips it in, and unbelievable. What a opportunity. And
Is that a different?
trying to see, it
Goalie?
looks like it's Maddox, I believe. I can just see the 30 on the jersey, but it does look like a different.
Yeah, because she's got the.
Yep, it's Maddox in there.
Yeah, green helmet.
Into the far corner, that slips back behind. So goalie change for the Spartans, as it is 6-0 Michigan with the lead.
Oh, we got a player behind us who's lost her stick and got behind a defenseman.
Ceballos trying to get to it. Now Katie German has it in along the near boards. Katie German trying to pull it down the near board. She ends up on the ice trying to fire it in front is Santi. Now tipped back. Here comes Michigan. Coming down the near boards is Hansen. Hansen on the near circle. Hansen trying to get it over to Lindahl, and that just out of her reach. She avoids pressure over on that far board, and Ferris sends it right back deep into the Spartan net.
Good to see Lindahl get out of that potential collision because of her great balance. I was afraid she was going to get it awkwardly hit.
Absolutely. 12:07 left to go here in the third. 6-0 Michigan with the lead. Izzy German fires it back outside the near circle. Tipped. Here comes Garbady. Garbady already has a goal. Garbady shot that knocked away back there as Nelson tipped it back. Here comes the Spartans down the far boards as McLucky brings it into the zone. McLucky and pulled away coming down the near boards. Here comes Izzy German. Izzy German over center. Izzy German ricochets it off the near board.
Good discipline from these defensemen. Get it deep.
Into the far corner. Swanson puts it back behind the goal. Gathered up by McLucky. McLucky on the near circle. McLucky fires it ahead. Here comes Reineck. Reineck over onto the far circle. That shot by Schlee and covered up by Poniv. 11:22 left to go here in the third. 6-0 Michigan with the lead.
They're actually out shooting us, but a lot of ours have gotten into the net. That's hurting our shots on net, which we'll take.
3 goals in the first 10 minutes and 12 seconds in the first, and now 3 goals in the first 7 minutes of the third for Michigan. That's the difference in this game, 6-0. And here comes the Wolverines as Garbady over to Swanson. Swanson gains the zone outside the far circle. Swanson trying to get away from Lieb. That puck underneath the near circle, and here comes the Spartans with it as Galasini feeds it ahead. Princeton comes in with a head of steam. Princeton on the near circle, shot saved by Poniv as she gets that right pad down and knocks it away.
She's money.
Here it comes, trying to work her way in. Galasini walks in, shot there. As good job by Gargiulo to clear it out of danger. Gargiulo down the far boards. Right back into the neutral zone, picked up by Leonard. Leonard over onto the near boards to Galasini. Here comes Huber. Huber, that deflected away. Good defense out in front.
Great save.
Great save there indeed as that pulls down the near boards, picked up by Flazar. Flazar outside the near circle. Flazar has that pulled away by Leonard. Back and picked up. Here comes Princeton. Princeton rockets all the way down as that rims all the way back to Lee at the far point. Slips past her. Grabbed back over there by Anderson. Anderson moves it over to McLucky. McLucky moves it back over to Campbell. Campbell outside the far circle. Black trying to pull it away from her in the Michigan zone. Izzy German comes away with it. She collides with Princeton as the puck into the near corner as here comes Katie German. Ahead. That's swept ahead by Dilla, who puts it deep. That is going to be icing.
Sam's got to come back.
That'll come back into the Michigan zone with 9:51 left to go here in the third. Face off in the near face-off circle. That to Ponit's right. Mickelson in to take the face-off. Dilla on the other side. That puck slips back behind. Katie German has it. Katie German coming down the far boards. And tipped back. Carr trying to pull it away. Carr coming ahead with it. Carr, she has that puck pulled away. Black trying to tip it back. Now grab.
Talk. Oh!
Loose coming in as there's a shot. Good
Open
save.
net.
Backhanded shot. Knocked away as that was Robleski who
Careful.
had a fantastic shot. Now Siciliano tries to put it out. That deflects. And finally Poneth able to cover it up.
3 quick shots.
Those had some opportunities, if not for us having a amazing goalkeeper. That might have certainly gone the Spartans' way.
Yep, that was not what we wanted to do. We got to make sure nobody gets behind us.
9:24 left to go here in the third. 6-0 Michigan with the lead.
You can't get excited that it's a stat night when you're trying to salvage what we cannot say.
Indeed. And loose, pulled away, in along the near boards, grabbed by Leonard. Leonard moves it onto the near circle. Leap trying to get it.
Good.
That pulled away, coming down the near boards. Here
Good.
comes Michigan.
Aerial pass, she can win that.
Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl back behind the goal. Lindahl underneath the far circle. Lindahl comes into the slot with a shot. Almost a hat trick there. Good save by Maddox.
Tough to be a goalie and come in after 2 periods of sitting.
Absolutely coming back into the
Here
far
comes
corner.
the wheels.
Trying to fire it out in front was Princeton. Loose. Pulling it away. Here comes Hansen. Hansen weaves through traffic over her own blue line. Hansen, 2 defenders in front of her. Hansen, shot, save by Maddox.
Smart play because she's cold.
Yeah, Maddox has done a really good job having faced the number of shots coming in off the bench cold. And honestly, there was a lot of those goals. I mean, six isn't a lot of fun for a goaltender, but a lot of those Van Sokema really had no opportunity to save.
Yeah.
All the way back to the far point to Gustafson. She takes a shot, saved by Maddox. 8:31 left to go here in the third. Again, we appreciate you joining us. The next Michigan games will be out at Miami University in Oxford. And will be the second and the third. We will hope to have those broadcasts for you as that put back out. I have no reason why we would miss it, so barring anything crazy, we'll be out there.
Have you got a room?
Swanson, I have not, but I need to get that tonight.
Well, good luck with Care Choices through their website. Our hotel, Choice Hotels. I had 2 rooms, then 2 rooms canceled, then 2 rooms, then 2 rooms canceled. We got a penalty, I think.
It does indeed look like a Michigan penalty at 8:04.
Oh, boy. Swanson. I didn't see it.
Swanson goes into the box as that looks like a hooking call on Swanson.
I was too involved in the hotel business.
Well, I have a number of points off of my own travel and one of our credit cards I'll try and use.
I'm going to stay with the team and travel down.
Oh, that's
with them,
brilliant.
so
That is brilliant.
Pay for my room, but get in the same hotel so I don't have to have a car.
That makes sense. We got enough gear. We just have to drive it out. We can't trust anything else there. That's why I got the minivan.
Timeout.
As
we
they're
got
talking
clock issues.
things over, it may well be a clock issue with 8:04 up on the clock in the third. The official comes over to the scorer's bench. And I remind you that everyone running those clocks is a volunteer, so that is not easy.
And I apologize to Leslie Reed. I thought she was here initially. She is not. I'm sure that's Danielle Rupp running the clock, but I don't know who. From up here, I can tell who else is there.
Held in at the far point by Galassini. Malashevsky
Nice
feeds it all the way down.
Smart play.
7:55 left there. Picked up by Galassini, right back behind the goal, moves it over to Princeton. Princeton down the far boards, now back to Galassini, up the near side. Galassini over on blue line. Galassini moves it back for Princeton, that slips back.
They're trying to do the NHL where they're leaving it for the last person to walk in. And I'm guessing it's Princeton who's supposed to be the one that can walk in.
Well, now she's coming down. She gains the zone into the near corner. Princeton goes right back behind the goal as she's stick handling and moving it all around.
Very
Drops
NHL.
it back to the far point. Now Princeton, one-timer from the high slot. That comes outside the near circle, picked up. And here comes Michigan as Lindahl over center ice. Lindahl trying to weave through traffic. Lindahl trying to get to it. And there is a hand raised on the far side.
She stuck a leg out. That's a trip.
So with a minute 1 seconds left to go in the Michigan penalty, there will be another one upcoming here.
She's a forward. That's a tough to have one of the leading scorers in the nation coming in on you.
So that was a holding call is what they officially
They're going to call it holding?
They did indeed.
Oh, that's nice of them. They did kind of grab her, but I thought it was going to be – she stuck a leg out. I thought they'd call a trip.
So Princeton in the box, so Michigan won't mind that.
She took that beautiful one-timer, then got all the way back on D, so you got to give her credit. She's everywhere.
Absolutely. Flazar in taking the face-off. 4-on-4 hockey for 58 seconds as that puck moved back into the Spartan zone.
Lots of room.
Leonard moving it in along the near boards. Bringing it ahead is Lieb. Gargiulo has it her own blue line. Gargiulo puts it into the Spartan end. Picked up, McLucky puts it in along the near boards. Michigan trying to hold it in, but here comes Lieb. Lieb coming away with it. Lieb backhands it over to Carey, but Gargiulo intercepts it her own blue line. Gargiulo heads the other direction.
Forward that wants to take a shot.
Tips it, that outside the near circle.
Good job, Lucy, drop back.
Now Hansen trying to get to it. That puck all the way in along the far boards. Here comes Lieb. Lieb chips it ahead. Guffs this and puts it right back. Now grabbed by McLucky over her own blue line. McLucky comes down with it. McLucky, top of the near circle, trying to get past the defense, and she scores. As she put a move on and put a little extra speed and put it in the top right-hand corner.
That's when you have the room, and like I said, she can fly. That was a good goal for her.
It was indeed, and it breaks a long shutout.
Yes, sadly.
Spartan goal by McLucky. That at 6:13. That'll make it 6-1. So the Spartans cracked the goose egg on the scoreboard, and they were still playing very hungry to make that happen.
They have more shots than they've had any other period, too. And they have more shots than we do, so they have certainly not given up.
They have a strong sense of pride, this team, and they're going to show it. It's coming down the near boards. Izzy German moves it back. Katie German coming down the far boards. Katie German trying to avoid pressure back over there as she gains the zone. Katie German trying to back behind the goal, now underneath the far circle.
Right,
Katie German.
Time.
Drop pass over to Hansen. Hansen top of the far circle with a shot that just goes wide. Izzy German outside the near circle. Michigan is on the power play for the next 42 seconds as Katie German top of the far circle now. Over to Izzy German into the near corner. Izzy German trying to slide it across. Malashevsky has it poked away. Schlee fires it all the way down the ice. Hansen tips it down with 27 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. 5:29 left to go here in the third. Here comes Hansen. Hansen trying to make a move. Hansen with a shot.
Right underneath her.
With the save, and she didn't see it as she stood up looking for it, and it was right underneath her. If she had just stayed there, the official would have lost sight of it. But as a goalkeeper, if you don't know where that puck is, that's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
And as a goalie and a goalie coach, on times looking down with all the paraphernalia and your mask, you can't see it there.
Oh, I don't doubt it. That's absolutely. Malashevsky wins it back, grabbed by McGough. McGough, there's a shot that knuckleballs over the goal, picked up back behind. Sent along the near boards, gathered up. Here comes Robleski trying to make a move past. Spartans do have more than a couple players with some speed. Robleski trying to get to it, back to the point, and that just slips back. McLucky racing back to get it now. Here comes Leonard. Leonard will gather that up, go right back behind the Spartan goal with 4:45 left to go here in the third. 6-1 is our score. Spartans with the last goal. And moved as Campbell tried to get to it, now pulled back. Mickelson avoided, sending it ahead. Here comes McGough. McGough gains the zone. McGough top of the near circle. That deflected by Leonard, and that a wide-angle shot. Ferris holds it in at the far point, puts it right back deep. Picking it up is Flazar. Flazar
There.
right out in front, and a
Nice
shot and a
shot.
save by Maddox. As boy, Flazar set up Cummings, and Maddox
Yeah, that was close.
had a good save. So you can see it right out in front, and excellent save. Even coming out to challenge was Maddox.
Yeah, tough spot to come in.
4:20 left to go here in the third, 6-1. These two teams, only regular season matchup, but they'll hope to see each other in the CCWHA playoffs. That is going to be at Eddie Egger Ice Arena this season, so a little closer to both of these squads. Not much closer to Michigan, but that's okay. Picked up back behind, tipped around is Black, trying to get to it. Now Dilla back there
Nice
is
play. She caught that from behind the net.
covered up by Maddox, as they don't show much of a drop in goalie skill when they moved to Maddox from Van Solkema.
Twinerism.
Indeed. Now Dilla to take the face-off on the far face-off circle.
3-on-1.
Has it. Now racing back. Gargiulo trying to move it over. Grab and put in by Lieb. And that's 2 straight goals with 3:49 left to go. And the Spartans, it
That's
might
too
be a
bad.
tall hill, but they got it back within 4.
That's too bad. Sandy's having a great game, and that's just a 3-on-1. You got to be more concerned about our end.
So,
Great goal. It was a great goal, great shot. Nothing Sandy could do.
Nope, 4-goal deficit now as the Spartans have chipped away. They have 2 goals in the space of a little over 2 minutes and change.
Got to hand it to them. They didn't quit.
Absolutely. They continue to battle. Strong are these Spartans. And move back. Garbady tips it into the near corner. Garbady chasing it. She's battling Anderson there, trying to send it back to Ceballos, still battling into outside the near circle. Garbady pinned into the near corner. It's a quartet of people trying to dig, trying to crowbar that out of there. Anderson coming away at it. Didn't say they were successful, but
That's a tricky play. The sad part about this is it was a dominating win. Good win.
Princeton with a shot, covered up by Ponnet. The Spartans still really battling, trying to get this game as Michigan doesn't have this one won. Top of the far circle, Leonard with it as the
She's
Spartans
lost
are
her
buzzing.
stick. Sandy has no stick.
That's a shot there, knocked away out in front and covered up, and now some pushing and shoving as happens when you got a bunch of people on the doorstep of the goal. Cooler heads prevail, and it is 2 minutes 47 seconds left to go here in the third. 6-2 is the score as the official comes over, as into the box will go offsetting penalties as
KG going.
Huber and I believe it was Katie German. I saw German on the back, but I couldn't catch the number.
The sad part is they got the last 2, so now they have some momentum, and you got a bit of a sour taste in your mouth as a coaching staff of the Wolverines, because you want to finish with the momentum and the joy of the victory, not the fact that they won the last 5 minutes.
Coming ahead, here comes Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Leonard trying to move it back. The puck in along the near boards. Malashevsky trying to knock it away. Now McGough sends it down the far boards. Brought
Nice.
ahead. Coming in with it, Malashevsky. Malashevsky on the far circle. Malashevsky goes back behind the goal. 2 minutes and 26 seconds left to go. Pinned in along the near boards. Lindahl trying to pull it away. Lindahl into the slot. Lindahl on the far circle. Lindahl, backhanded shot. Knocked away by Maddox. Comes all the way back. Ferris puts it right back behind the Spartan goal. Now outside the near circle. Trying to dig it out of there. Lindahl battling with Schlee.
Could force them to have out there 4-on-4. There you go. Give it to.
Moved over now. Top of the far circle. Ferris with it. Into the far corner. Malashevsky has it there. Malashevsky spinning. Malashevsky trying to get it to Lindahl. Good stick by Leonard to knock it away. Held in by Ferris. She takes a shot. That deflected off of the defender. Now Leonard lifts it down into the neutral zone. Stop there, bringing ahead is Hansen. Hansen trying to make a move, and she tripped over the linesman. And all the way back into the Michigan
She
zone.
got some help, too.
Yeah. Coming ahead is Flazar. Flazar, right in front of the scorer's bench, moves it back to Gustafson.
Nice.
1 minute, 22 seconds left to go. McGough bringing it ahead. McGough at the near point, goes outside the near circle. McGough into the near corner with it. The official and the linesman are really taking the brunt of this.
Yes.
All the way over as Gustafson has it outside the far circle with 1 minute, 6 seconds left to go. Back behind the goal, Gustafson sends it back to McGough at the near point. McGough with a shot into the far corner. Hansen chasing it back.
Nicely not blocked.
Underneath a minute left. Hansen back behind the goal. Hansen outside the near circle.
Waiting
Hansen
for a defender.
trying to bring it in as the penalties have expired. Loose
Oh,
top of the
my.
near circle. Here comes Hansen. Hansen trying to skate it in. Backhanded shot just missed with 40 seconds left to go. Puck in along the near boards, bringing it ahead. Here comes Princeton, knocked away by
There you
Gargiulo. She comes in with
bit.
33 seconds left. Shot there, knocked down by Maddox and covered up. Now moves it over in along the near boards. Fired all the way down by Princeton, picked up there. Michigan at their own blue line with 21 seconds left. Katie German down the near boards.
Oh.
As there is a collision in front of the penalty box.
Boy.
Here comes Gargiulo.
KG's tough.
Gargiulo in along the far boards. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Michigan wins 6-2 as they beat the Spartans in their only regular season matchup between the two teams. Spartans will fall to 3-3. Michigan will go to 4-1 on the season. Next matchup for Michigan, again, they go on the road. They will be at Miami University down in Oxford, Ohio. That will be on November 2nd. That's a Saturday, so not this weekend, but the next weekend. That at Grogan Ice Arena in Oxford, Ohio. That's a 9:30 p.m. game, another CCWHA matchup. Miami now in our same pod, so that'll be a big game and two big games on the road. Final thoughts about that battle and matchup there with this game, Ned?
Great game. I mean, I'd like to have finished a little stronger. It was looking really good at 6-0, especially for Sandy. But we'll take the victory against the rival.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Michigan fans will hope that the football game goes the same way. Spartans will look for some revenge on the gridiron. And my Wisconsin fans to the left will laugh at both of us. So we appreciate it. For my camera people, James Wiseman and Christina Wiseman, color commentator, Coach Nick. Listen, Mike Butler is our director. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you. No matter which team you cheer for, thank you for supporting these wonderful, amazing players. 6-2, the final score. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we will return with the Coaches Show next Tuesday, 6 p.m. live from Regents Field. Take care, everyone. Have a great night and a great weekend.